Canadian men's national team fans have a friendly that should be scheduled, earmarked, and circled on your calendars for June the 1st. And not because our Canadian men's national team boys are playing, unfortunately. It is for the USMNT, who take on Morocco in June 1st at Cincinnati. And this is a massive game due to the fact that USMNT are, of course, our biggest rivals, our toughest match every time in CONCACAF, but also the fact that they are taking on Morocco, who we've joined up in a very difficult group in the World Cup, which also sees us play against Croatia and Belgium. And there's so many reasons why this is a must-watch game for Canadians, but I'm going to be breaking them down into 3 big ranking reasons, and we're going to be kicking it off with the 3 must-watch reasons for Canadians between USMNT and Morocco, with reason number 1, Moroccan tactics/formation. Because Morocco usually plays about the exact same formation/setup that Canada plays in CONCACAF. That 3 in the back/5 in the back, which you can see turned to a 3-5-2 or a 5-3-2, which Canada usually utilizes that 3 in the back system all the time in CONCACAF, and which we did against USA very well. Where, of course, we did manage to beat USA in Hamilton in that unbelievable game where we won 2-0, where we had that Atakubi unbelievable goal. But Morocco does go into this with this great 3 in the back/5 in the back system, with, of course, Hakimi at right wing back, unbelievable center back with Romain Saiss, Bonu in net, a great midfield of Amrabat and Lauza and Naziri up top. And this is going to be crucial in the way Canadians watch this game. Of course, John Herdman's going to be keeping an eye on this game, due to the fact that Morocco basically plays the same setup as Canada does. And they're going to be doing the exact same thing against US that Canada does against the USMNT. Because Canada always goes with those 2 number 9s of David and Kyle Larin, and a great solid midfield with a solid back line and wing backs who are going to bomb up. It's going to be very interesting to see who controls possession in this match. Well, I'll probably talk about it a bit later in one of my other rankings, but it'll be very interesting to see what formation and how they tactically set up against the USMNT, to see who controls the ball, who takes the initiative in this match, because this will really show us how Canada will match up against Morocco. Because, of course, we've seen how Canada has matched up against the USMNT. We've beaten them on an occasion in World Cup qualifying and also drawn them away in the USA. So, of course, we know we match up very well against the US. It is just how well do Morocco match up against the US in basically the same exact formation, the same kind of setup, and with, I wouldn't say extremely better players, but probably a better side than the Moroccan side, because I believe they have a better midfield and probably a better center back or 2. And of course, Canada has some unbelievable players, probably way better attack, but this is an extremely good Moroccan side, and I'm excited to see how their tactical setup and formation that Canada usually adopts as well works against this US side, because this could be very telling to see how Canada as well matches up against Morocco. That is my reason number 1. We're going to swiftly move on to reason number 2 with ranking number 2, which is what players are fielded for Morocco. And the reason I say this is because right now there's the issue of Halilhodžić being the manager of Morocco, and of course Laurent Blanc being talked about joining Morocco or Halilhodžić leaving, and Blanc is also rumored with the Nigeria job. And as we know, Hakim Ziyech and Mazraoui have retired from international football due to Halilhodžić, and this is because of so many different reasons. And if Halilhodžić stays as the manager, there's no way these 2 boys come back. And these 2 players are some of the best in world football at their position. They're unbelievable players, unbelievable talents. And I believe this Moroccan side needs them. Yes, they're huge, unbelievable players. Any side in the world would take them. I 100% believe that. And it is an extreme loss if Morocco can't get them in. And sure, if they get them for the World Cup, that's great. But you want them for the friendlies if they're going to join up. You want them to suit into that side. You want to see how they're going to play or get into the new manager's setup or what have you. And it also not just depends on Hakim Ziyech and Mazraoui if they come back. It also depends on who is exactly fielded for this Moroccan side. Yes, they should be playing their best 11. Yes, there should be their best players on the field for these friendlies warming up for the World Cup. But are they going to? Who's going to be there? Who will be playing in June? You would like to see for the Moroccan side have Lauza, Romain Saiss, Hakimi, Bonu. All your best players need to be playing because it is a warm-up against USMNT, and this is the perfect warm-up for the likes of Morocco as well. Not just a perfect warm-up for Canada seeing this, or USA playing against Morocco. This is a perfect watch for Canada as well as Morocco to come up against one of the best teams in CONCACAF who Canada consistently plays. Because Morocco are going to be going into this game saying, well, if Canada can beat them, what's going to happen for us? It's going to be very interesting for Moroccan side as well. And it'll all depend on who they field, who's going to be playing, who's going to be in that roster, how seriously they're going to take it. Of course, as a World Cup warm-up, it's going to be taken serious, but you never know who's going to be fielded, who's going to be healthy, who's going to be injured come that time. There's still some games going on in world football, in club football, I mean. So anything can still happen with injuries or news in the world that could change their 11. That is my reason number 2 with who could be fielded. Reason number 3. This one is on how the USA does against Morocco. Because we've come up against USA on multiple occasions. Like I said, we've drawn them in the US in terrible conditions and cold weather. And we also did it in Hamilton in a 2-0 win in a massive, weird, crazy conditions. And this US side play a very good 4-3-3. And when USA has their full team, they're a team to be reckoned with. USA can control the ball very nicely. I love some of their players, like the Tyler Adams, who is very underrated. You have the likes of Yunus Musa. You have some great USA players who I highly rate. And I think Morocco might go into this game underrating this USA side. Because USA are no pushover means anything. You got a great midfield for this USA side, likes of Tyler Adams, Musa, the likes of Weston McKennie, and you could even have Giovanni Reyna come back. I'm not sure on his injury status, but this is a great USA side. And as a Canadian, you probably thought I'd thrash them and criticize them, but no, I really rate some of these USA players, and they can really hold the midfield because I believe USA have a better midfield than some teams around the world. And I believe, yes, Imran Louza and Amrabat, they have some great midfielders at Morocco, but I think if you get this USA team playing well and all together, this midfield can really hold the ball and control possession, which they did against Canada very well, and they did create some very nice chances, which I think they can do against Morocco if this whole team is there. So depending on how USA go into this game, injury-wise, which we all know affects this USA side, it is going to be very interesting on how the USA fares against Morocco. Because USA did quite well against Canada at times, but struggled to get that final touch and that finishing touch in front of goal, especially in that final third. USA can hold the ball very well, they control possession nicely, but they lack the movement in the final third and the ball to put it away. It'll be very interesting to see how USA fare, especially for Canadians watching this game. Guys, that is my 3 rankings for why I think Canadians need to be watching this must-watch match for our boys on June 1st against USMNT and Morocco, with the tactical setup for Morocco, who Morocco fields, and how USA can fare against this Moroccan side. Canadians, everyone out there, Moroccans, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button, it really helps me out in the algorithm, and hit that sub button, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace!